Semen retention is not just a physical discipline, it is a spiritual alignment. When you stop leaking your energy, your body begins to operate on a higher frequency. You become more aware of your thoughts, emotions, and impulses because you are no longer numbing yourself with instant gratification. This heightened awareness is the first step of spiritual growth. You begin noticing the subtle layers of reality, energy patterns, intentions of people, and the vibrations of places. This inner shift marks the beginning of your spiritual awakening. Every ancient spiritual tradition recognizes sexual energy as the most potent life force, often called prana, chi, or kundalini. When you practice semen retention, you are storing this life force instead of throwing it away. Your mind becomes sharper because this energy rises upward. Your intuition grows stronger. You begin listening to your inner voice, the voice that was always there but drowned out by lust and distractions. This rising energy is the foundation for spiritual insight. Semen retention slows down your mind. Your thoughts become clearer and less chaotic. And when the noise inside your head reduces, spirituality becomes much easier. Meditation becomes effortless. Breathing becomes deeper. Your connection to the present moment becomes stronger. This calmness allows spiritual wisdom to naturally reveal itself. You no longer chase spirituality, it flows into you. Spiritually, retention purifies your emotional field. Lust, craving, addiction, these create energetic dust on your soul. Retention begins to burn this dust away. You start feeling lighter, cleaner, and more centered. Emotional triggers lose their power over you. You're no longer controlled by desire, instead, you control your desire. This is a major step toward spiritual mastery. Your vibration increases the longer you retain. You start attracting better people, better opportunities, and better environments. This isn't magic, it's spiritual law. High vibration attracts high vibration. People can sense your energy without you saying a word. You appear more grounded, more present, and more aware. And spiritually, you start feeling connected to a purpose bigger than yourself. Retention improves your relationship with silence. Most men fear silence because silence forces you to face yourself. But when you retain, silence becomes a source of power. In that silence, you hear your true thoughts. You see your real desires. You understand your wounds. And from this awareness, spiritual healing becomes possible. Silence becomes your spiritual companion. Retention increases gratitude. When the mind is free from lust and overstimulation, it naturally appreciates life more. Simple things feel meaningful. Relationships feel deeper. Nature looks more beautiful. Gratitude is a spiritual accelerator, it opens your heart and aligns you with abundance. Retention naturally positions you in this state of gratitude. One of the strongest spiritual effects of retention is heightened presence. You start living in the now rather than escaping reality through dopamine. This present moment awareness strengthens intuition, sharpens instincts, and deepens your spiritual sensitivity. You start feeling connected to your surroundings. Life stops feeling mechanical and becomes intentional. Retention cleans the subconscious mind. Your subconscious is filled with images, memories, and emotional residues from years of lust. When you stop feeding these patterns, they weaken. Over time, retention rewires your subconscious toward discipline, clarity, and strength. This makes spiritual growth natural, not forced. Retention awakens your inner masculine energy, the energy of direction, purpose, and responsibility. When your masculine energy rises, you begin to seek meaning rather than pleasure. You start choosing purpose over distraction. This alignment with your higher self is what every spiritual path teaches. Retention simply accelerates this process. Your mind stops fantasizing and starts observing. Fantasies pull you out of reality. Observation grounds you in it. When you retain, your mind begins watching life as it is. You notice energy shifts in people, emotional patterns, and spiritual symbolism. This observational awareness is a core spiritual skill. Spiritual clarity grows because your nervous system stabilizes. Retention reduces overstimulation, which calms your mind and body. From this calmness emerges spiritual insight. You begin understanding yourself and the world at a deeper level. You recognize your triggers, your shadows, and your inner strengths with greater accuracy. Retention opens the heart. Lust closes the heart, it makes you selfish and hungry. But as you retain, emotional warmth returns. Compassion increases. You feel more connected to people. Not in a weak way, but in a grounded, powerful, masculine way. This emotional connection is a major spiritual evolution. Your ability to feel energy increases. You can sense intentions. You can read people's eyes. You can understand a room's vibe instantly. This spiritual sensitivity comes from conserving your life force. Your internal antenna becomes sharper and more accurate. You stop missing the signals the universe sends you. Your dreams become powerful, meaningful, and symbolic. This is because the brain has more energy to work with during retention. Many men report deeper dream experiences and messages that feel spiritually guided. This dream clarity is a sign that your subconscious and higher self are reconnecting. Retention strengthens intuition to a level where it feels like spiritual guidance. You begin making the right decisions effortlessly. You feel guided toward people and opportunities that match your higher path. Intuition becomes a spiritual compass, and it becomes extremely sharp when you retain your seed. Your ego weakens over time. Lust inflates the ego. Retention humbles it. And when ego dissolves, the true self emerges. You become more authentic, more grounded, and more aligned with your spiritual essence. Spirituality becomes a natural expression of who you are, not something you perform. Your discipline becomes spiritual. Every time you say no to instant pleasure, you say yes to higher consciousness. Your willpower becomes sacred. Your choices become intentional. And this discipline merges with your spiritual journey, turning you into a stronger, wiser version of yourself. Retention makes your energy field stronger and cleaner. People feel calm or inspired around you. Some feel intimidated. Some feel drawn to you. This happens because your aura becomes powerful and structured. A strong aura is a sign of spiritual vitality. With retention, your sense of purpose sharpens dramatically. You begin seeing your path more clearly. You understand what you want, what you deserve, and what you are capable of. This sense of direction is deeply spiritual because it aligns you with your highest potential. Your spiritual self-confidence grows. Not arrogance, certainty. You walk differently. You speak differently. You make decisions with clarity and conviction. This inner confidence comes from the energy stored inside you, supporting your actions and thoughts. Retention teaches you detachment. You no longer need external validation, constant stimulation, or approval. You become self-sufficient. And detachment is a core spiritual principle. It frees you from suffering and allows you to live with peace and power. Your emotional intelligence rises. You understand your emotions and manage them correctly. You stop reacting and start responding. Spirituality requires emotional balance, and retention builds this balance naturally by stabilizing your energy. Retention dissolves shame and guilt that often come from addiction and lust. And this emotional release opens the door to spiritual healing. You feel worthy again. You feel pure. You feel aligned. This emotional purification is one of retention's greatest spiritual benefits. You reconnect with your inner child, the innocent, pure version of you who saw the world with wonder. Lust corrupts innocence, retention restores it. This restoration is a major spiritual milestone and leads to deep emotional healing. Retention improves your relationship with the universe. You start seeing signs, synchronicities, and meaningful coincidences. You begin trusting the flow of life. You feel guided. This connection is spiritual alignment, and it deepens the longer you retain. You begin to act with intention rather than impulse. Your life becomes deliberate. Every decision has meaning. Every action has purpose. This conscious living is the essence of spirituality. Your awareness expands outward. You begin caring about your environment, your relationships, your health, and your future. This expanded consciousness is a spiritual awakening. You stop living small and start living with purpose. You feel more connected to nature and the natural rhythms of life. Your body feels alive. Your senses become sharper. Your presence in the world becomes deeper. This grounded connection with nature is one of the most underrated spiritual benefits of retention. Semen retention also deepens your connection to the unseen layers of life, the spiritual dimensions that most people never access because their mind is constantly overstimulated. When you retain, your inner senses grow sharper, and you start perceiving things beyond the physical world. You become aware of energy shifts, spiritual symbolism, synchronicities, and the unspoken messages life sends you. Your intuition becomes almost like a spiritual radar. You begin understanding why certain people enter your life, why certain events happen, and what lessons the universe is trying to teach you. This heightened spiritual perception is not imagination, it is the natural awakening that happens when your life force rises instead of being wasted. Retention transforms your consciousness from shallow to deep, from blind to aware, from disconnected to spiritually tuned.